So yeah, my name is Nakul Abhyankar, and as a creator, I'm here today to share some insights on the topic of creativity, as my life is a pursuit of formulating ideas and musical phrases to create music at the end of the day. As I've seen, there are so many creators here who believe they are, and that's a great thing to see. As creativity, I believe that creativity is the reflection of your own personality, your ego, what you are, your emotions, your experiences, and everything gets channeled into your passion, and that's when a creation happens from anyone's side. And it's really fun to create something. You might be a painter, you might be a musician, an artist, or let's say you're very interested in science or finance, and you come up with some great ideas and formulas, and that's creativity, and you enjoy doing that. In my case, music wasn't so much fun when I was a kid. I hated sitting in one place to study something. That might be school or my music classes, and I would constantly, fight with mom saying, "Hey, I don't want to go today to my music class. I want to go play cricket." But all this soon changed when my dad bought a synthesizer when I was in 6th grade, and that was the result of my brother winning close-up Antakshari in Z. He's a great singer too, and fun fact, he studied here 2001 to 2005 in this college. So coming here is a nostalgia for me, and I came way back here in 2001. So yeah. When my dad bought that synthesizer, I was hooked to it. My brother came here to study engineering, and all I was left when I was back in Harvard was that keyboard and me. And I would spend day and night learning songs, learning chords, figuring out melodies, and everything was self-taught. I didn't have anyone to teach me, so I kept listening to songs and started developing the oral ability to understand music. And I believe that marked the very first phase of any creator, being able to discover the talent. Back then I never thought so, but now when I look back, I feel that was that crucial moment of my life when I saw music in me. I saw a music producer in me, I saw a singer in me, and a performer in me. Years passed by, and of course once you discover your talent, you want to learn. There's a big learning curve that happens. And surprisingly, that started in my engineering college. I mean, so many factors contributed towards it. Many people jokingly told, "Hey, you just wasted an engineering seat, man. Someone else could have studied." Yes, that's true, but it is what it is, and there's no regret that I did 4 years of engineering in my life, because that helped shape my personality to such an extent. Because I found so many positive moments in my life to shape who I was. Because I entered engineering college without knowing who Metallica was, Iron Maiden was. I didn't know who Pink Floyd was. I didn't know what metal music was or rock music. Like, we're all well versed with that right from the young age, but I didn't know any of it. That's how it started, and it was very exciting to visit my music club, meet so many of my juniors and seniors. We would jam every day, try participating in every inter-college festivals, and I was a keyboardist once, I was a pianist once. There was a time when I played bass guitar also, that was in NIT Cochin and Calicut. So the learning curve was so good in my engineering days in those 4 years. I had a great set of friends. The company was so good. I really believe my learning started at 5 p.m. once the college ended. 5 p.m. to next morning 5 a.m. We would not sleep. Go listen to songs, talk about bands, study them, study the artist's life, what each artist has gone through to achieve whatever it takes, and that was it. And meanwhile, during all these things, I ended up participating in reality show. That's obvious. Because everyone said, "Hey, you're a great singer, why don't you go and participate?" And I was like, "Okay, sure, let me try." And that ended up me winning Z Kannada Saregama, and I was on top of the world at that point. I was like, "Hey, I have arrived. This is me being a playback singer now." And instantly, 2 months later, I got called for Z Hindi Saregama, and that was national level. And all that bubble of fame and belief and faith got shattered when it was a disaster season for me. I go to Bombay, I see some amazing musicians who had some incredible capability of creating music, might be singing or composing, and I was so nervous like how I am right now. And the event turned out to be so disastrous for me. I kind of crawled up to top 9 position, but oh god, I was shattered. I was so frustrated. And then once that happened, I came back. I was in my 3rd year of engineering, and I said to myself, I can't let this frustration overtake what I want to do in my life, because it exposed all my weaknesses in front of me. And that is another aspect of being a creator. If you want to excel in your creativity, you have to be open to any sort of criticism. You should be in a position to accept your failure. You should be in a position to accept your weakness. You can't always expect to do something and listen to good stuff from the people. A negative feedback is more valued than a positive feedback. And that's exactly was the case in my life. And I tried to channel that frustration into a positive motivation. I was in Robert Bosch for 1 year, and that was it. Working there for 1 year, and I realized, okay, I'm not meant to do this. I'm meant to do something else. And that's possible only if I step into the music industry with a lot of determination, with a lot of courage, and not having any thoughts of failure in my mind. And that was a very, very big turning point. And for me, being from the engineering background, I know how important knowledge is. Knowledge is the greatest weapon to achieve anything that you want. It's the greatest wealth. It's the biggest weapon. And I said, okay, I'm doing music, but first let me learn. So after engineering, after working for 1 year, I learned diploma in music for 3 years in Chennai. It was very tough to afford. That college was very expensive. So that kind of faith and belief in myself drove me to work harder and harder every day, and not seek for opportunities. Being a creator or trying to pursue your passion is not about hunting for opportunities. It's about you being ready for any sort of opportunities that might knock at your door. So everyone will get an opportunity. And in today's world, there is so much room to do so many things. I don't think someone getting an opportunity is there. But are you ready to utilize that? Are you ready to convert that into something beautiful so that you can create more opportunities from it? So that was my thought. I wanted to be in that position, and that's how I ended up learning Western classical music for 3 years and opera singing for 3 years. That was my vocal major. And then happened Rahman sir's jazz band called Nafs, where I learned jazz music for 2 years. So it was just like, right from I was 18 years old to let's say 25, 26, it was constant learning of new genres, studying new artists, studying new style, and there was no end to it. The more I tried to learn, it was like trying to reach the horizon. You go there and you find another horizon in front of you. So it was a never-ending rabbit hole. And I thoroughly enjoyed studying everything. And that's pretty much about my life and what led me to get into music. I ended up working with Nakul, Manikant Khatri, and now I work in close association with Rahman sir. I'll just quickly give some 2-3 pointers that I should share with you guys about creativity, what I have learned. One thing is, certain things I learned during my work was no compromise. Whenever you're trying to create something, you shouldn't settle down with an average product. You should always aim at giving your best, at least that. At that moment, what you think is best. You have to strive towards achieving that. And nothing can stop you from it. It will take it to a certain point, but after that, you cannot cross it. 80%, 81, 82 max. But if you want to go 100, compromise is not a solution for it. Being creative also means an art of studying the art of rejection. See, there's nothing called as absolute good and absolute bad. Idea is an idea. And it's good or bad only when you put it in a situation. And if the idea is beautiful but it doesn't work for the given situation, reject. Blindly reject it, delete it, or keep it for something else. If it's harming the bigger picture, reject. So that art of rejection is very important when you want to create something beautiful. And of course, faith and belief is the most important thing, as I said. To be able to create anything is a great gift, and it's the reflection of your own personality, your emotions, and you're only doing that either to help the mankind or to entertain the mankind in some other way. It is going to be helpful. In case of music, if I sing something, if I compose something, it is to make you feel what I'm going through. It is the emotional connect that I want to have with the audience. And I can do that only if my composition stays true to my emotions and not a fake one. I'm here to do my song and speak about my personality, my experience, and that's when you will also resonate, because you will see that innocence and the truthfulness in my work, my music that I've created. The next one is creative blocks. So such creative blocks are part and parcel of your life. You have to understand what can bring you out of it. For me, for example, traveling helps me a lot. I don't do music for a week. I'll just shut everything and go off somewhere with my wife and not think about music, nothing. And that kind of helps me refresh my brain, my ideas, and when I come back, I'm a fresh person again. Be able to work, because you can take only so much pressure, and when you're in the professional field, you have to be creative 24/7, 365, and you have to deliver with the same energy, and that can happen only when you take breaks. And every individual has his own way to fight that. For me, it is traveling. For someone, it might be going to native place, meeting relatives, or socializing. For some, it might be just being themselves and having the me time. It can be anything. So you have to discover it by yourself. How to fight the hurdle of creative blocks. And one of the last things I want to say is hunger for excellence is the most important for a creator. You have to work towards that. You cannot stop. You cannot be a mediocre. And one more thing is learning and unlearning. You keep learning from your textbooks, you keep learning from your friends, but at the end of the day, if you do the same thing that you have learned, you're not creating anything new, it's already there. So what are you going to create new? So once you learn, you know the rules, you should know how to unlearn those things, how to break the rules and create something new. And that's when the new stuff comes in, the new innovation happens. Beethoven, for example, there were so many rules to write music back then in classical era, you won't even imagine. If some of you understand music, a dissonant note, like if you play C and a D note together, that was supposed to be dissonance and that was supposed to be evil. They would take it to the religious level of discarding that music, saying this is the work of the devil. And that was the level of constraint that these composers had. But once Beethoven, for example, when he went deaf, out of frustration, he started writing music which suddenly became the new romantic era of Western classical music. Back then, he didn't know what he was doing. He was just writing down whatever he felt in his mind. And that was so different. And suddenly it became, back then people rejected his pieces. They weren't appreciative about that. Only once he died, then people started studying his pieces. They were like, this is the work of a genius. He has done something no one had done before. That's when creativity happens. That's when you ascend to the next level. So yes, and I would like to conclude today by saying that everyone is born with creativity. I saw only few hands in the air when I started, but I would like to say that every person is a creative person. It's just a matter of time and patience, and you have to let yourself discover your talent. And that's when you will see a creator inside you. And you have to work hard works that have faith and belief in yourself. Be in the good company. Be open to criticism, and one day you will definitely shine as a creator. Thank you very much.